Greetings, tankers. It is the Long Con, once again bringing you more tales of daring do in the world of tanks. Now, it's become more than obvious there's a very large update coming. 3.3, the Typhoon update, is bringing to us a slew of changes to the British tech trees, and I wanted to make a video for my favorite Tier 10 medium, the FV4202, before it gets swapped out for the Centurion Action X. This tank is just great. It's a fantastic all-arounder, has amazing gun depression, troll turret armor, troll hull armor, and has gotten me out of more jams than it's ever gotten me into. I'm going to be sad to see it go, but I'm also happy to see it replaced with a tank that is going to be just as good. Now, what can I say about this tank now that it's going away? I mean, really, talking about its stats and its gun performance and maneuverability and armor seems kind of moot, really. I'm kind of sad to see the old girl going. I've been driving this tank for a long time, and while on the PlayStation I probably only have, maybe 50 games in it, on my Xbox I probably had upwards of 200. A lot of experience with these British mediums, and it culminated with the pinnacle that is the FV4202. It's, it's not without its weaknesses. It is a little slow in terms of top end, but its power to weight ratio is amazing. It'll zoom along at its top speed pretty much everywhere it goes, including up some, 20 and 30 degree inclines. The gun handling is fantastic. The armor's troll provided your hull down, and it's an incredibly great circle strafer. Getting these in on slow-moving heavy tanks is lethal to them. And, yeah. Might as well look at the gun while we got it here, right? Now, the gun is going to be replaced by the 20-pounder B barrel. You're not going to get to carry this thing around at Tier 8, which, is both good for balancing the tiers and also historically accurate, as the FV4202 never had a 105mm strap to it. Be that as it may, nearly 7 rounds a minute and just over a 2-second aim time with 0.31 accuracy and 268mm of penetration. It is utterly amazing. Now, I've made it a point on all my British crews to put safe stowage, as the ammo rack is fragile, and we've discussed it before with the Centurion 7.1, but it does live behind the lower glacis still. Granted, the FV4202's lower glacis is significantly smaller and the profile is much lower. It's still something that I felt was important enough to include on a Tier 10 medium tank crew. Alright guys, well, I've got a game here on Serene Coast, a Tier 10 game obviously. We're going to take a look at it. I get a little crazy and get overexposed in the beginning, but it all works out, right? This is a send-off after all. So yeah, just fast forwarded a little bit to the point where action is finally getting underway. It's not a heavy Tier 10 game, but there's definitely a lot of 9s, so some competitive tanks out on the board. And I am playing solo, and it can never really, never really completely depend on the green team, unfortunately. I hate to say it, but it's real dicey, depending on people that you have no connection to whatsoever. Pick up a light tank here, up on the ridge lines, T-49 taking some pot shots at me. Fortunately, there's some good covering fire. We drive him back from the hill. You can just see how fast this tank is uphill. Like, for anyone that's never driven this, like, I'm going, 35 kilometers an hour up this incline. It'll pass numerous other medium tanks uphill, which is pretty awesome when you're trying to catch up with your buddies and they all slow down drastically at big hills. Alright, sorry about that. Get a little nostalgic. So we pick up a whole bunch of tanks here. I've got an E3, I've got a T30, there's a Centurion 7.1, a whole lot of big nasty, and then there's tanks, of course, in the distance. This 7.1, man, he had the counter position to me. Oh, and artillery just smashes the shit out of him, which is a huge help. So I've got to dig this 7.1 out of this position, right? This is where I need to be in order to spot and get shots into those tanks over the ridgeline. And he's trying to do the same thing for his team. In this situation, I got to be kind of dominant, though. It's like I'm the Tier 10, I'm the natural evolution of the Centurion 7.1. He had me a little perplexed. His rate of fire was so high, I thought he was using a 20-pounder, but he was hitting so damn hard. He's using the 105, and he has to have been using a gun rammer, Brothers in Arms, and premium consumables to have that rate of fire that high. And he was shooting practically as fast as I was. Oh, and I got tanks in behind me, and I give up my side to him, and he gets another one into me. Yeah, I just can't bow down to this guy. Like, he knows what he's doing, and he's got a rate of fire that's competitive with mine. Oh, he just leaves me with nothing. He's got to be so pissed. Oh, it all comes down to this moment. It all comes down to this. Who wins? Who wins? Oh, and I take him down. Oh my god, the E3! Oh, and somebody's shooting me from behind. Oh my god, what is happening? Oh, the E75's dead. Good news, it wasn't that. But here's a Motherland. Oh, and he bounces off the front of my turret. Woo! God, I got that E3 behind me. Is he going to roll over on me? Oh, is the E3 going to roll over? Oh, it doesn't look like it. Oh, that's fantastic news. He's busy, I guess, with his heavy tanks downrange. Now, this Motherland's just never going to get through, like, with me in this position. My armor's just too tough. His gun's too weak. Whew! Good thing that E3 thought better of himself and didn't come over. I take a moment to just kind of relax. I got those tanks spotted on the other side of the ridge, so they're getting hit. Oh, I get a little ballsy and I take a snapshot at the IS-3, but fortunately it pays off and I don't get killed. Okay, what's going on here? What's going on? Alright, the IS-3's gone. Fantastic. Still trying to catch my breath. Oh, and there goes the T-30. Fantastic news. So in those few moments since the excitement of that engagement, my team has turned the tables, which is awesome. Way to go, team. I'd like to think I had some small part in winning this corner up here, but it is down to a nearly dead FV4202 and a completely healthy E3. And he's got himself backed into a wall. I don't even want to mess with that. I try to get shots in the flank over here. Both of these heavy tanks are way hull down, and side of an IS-7's turret is incredibly tough, so my shot bounces straight off. Alright, I choke up on the bat. E3 seems to have forgotten about me there for a second, but I reveal myself, and he immediately backs himself back up into the wall. Take a shot at him. Oh, artillery's peppering him. That's always good, I guess. Sorry, I've got a lot of mixed feelings about artillery, as I'm sure you do as well. Oh, and this Conqueror that pushed around behind me is shooting the E3 in the side. I knock the E3's tracks off, and I push it over this ridge and just make it my aim to get behind him. I'm almost dead. I want to do more damage. Oh, the artillery knocks this other track off, and I'm behind him. At this point in time, the E3 can consider himself fucked. He realizes it. I got him away from the wall. It's just a matter of my reload here, which is nice. I get to pad my stats a little bit with some easy hit points without having to be too much in the way of highly competitive. Artillery gets the kill. Hey, good aim, buddy. You bastard. Yeah, I mean, don't you think that the Conqueror and I could have handled that E3? Maybe the artillery could have shot at one of those other heavy tanks over there. I'm just saying. I think we had it. I can't express my elation with the Conqueror driver over here. He completely opened that flank up and allowed me to get behind that E3. So way to go, buddy. You keep playing like that and you'll do well. There's a great synergy with these high-tier British tanks, and I'm going to talk about that more with my up-and-coming Conqueror video. But as for this game, I feel like it's a completely average send-off for the FV4202. I did just over 4,000 damage and had nearly 3,000 assists. I kind of feel like that's what you should be doing every time you step foot in the old girl. Completely average. Unfortunately, that's the way most people feel about her. But my friend Diz dropped about 8 grand damage on Fisherman's Bay yesterday, and that argues quite the opposite. In truth, the FV4202 is a fantastic tank, and I'm going to be sorry to see it go. I'm happy to report, though, that the Centurion Action X is amazing. I've driven it on SuperTest, and I'll have some video coming soon. Happy hunting.